I believe, and 2 ER smalls. 1 SRM6.
So how do you see this fight playing out ideally for each
Oof.
teams?
They're about to run into each other, so I think the ideal for the WR team is if they manage to engage at 0 range, so they can use all of their ATMs, I think.
First couple
Right.
hits are on Liko.
Okay. I don't think that did too much damage, though. Let's see.
Almost slowly getting into range.
Speed trading is a little bit unwise. Let's see what their plan is. Letting the demo push up. He was getting caught out. He has to put down his fire on the tank. Jank's out of position. Or rather, Dead Sam is out of position. Jank's just taking all the fire. He's going to get focused. Hitting the demo's turrets, I think. Bot might be able to tank fire. Fight. Oh man, this Jank is already down. So is Deimos. Bob and Cyril have been almost entirely untouched. Real Mascot's just been doing pure UAC 20 damage. All up to Dead Salmon. I don't think he can do this. That's how much damage Bob took. As long as that UAC 20 is still up, it's going to be real bad. Yeah, 360 torso can just keep shielding forever.
But Salmon has to land his final shot here.
He might have a chance if he takes off Serial Mascot's arm. No.
Let's see how close this was. A fast match, Direwolf. I don't think either team was ready to engage right at that very instant.
I think that in that situation, though, it serves out better for the team with more armor and more DPS, and I think WR had more of that.
18%, 38% on Bob's Vulture, and the Argus 64 and 82. I think they might have gotten Bob, but I don't think that he would have gotten the Argus. We are underway. Okay, so let's follow the WR team from that perspective. Okay, so the two teams are ready. This is map 2. TSA Badlands. The Falcons are in sudden death territory now. If they lose, they're out of the running for the championship. We have an Ares Delta with 2 UAC 5s, a Raven Beta with Stealth with Gekum and BAP extended radar. We have an Osiris Charlie with PPC and jump jets, and that's for the Wolverines Rebirth. For the Falcons, we have a Chimera Foxtrot with AC-10, an Uller Prime with LBX 5 and large laser, and a Chevalier Fox with LBX and SRM 6. The Falcon team doesn't have the best speed, but they have good armor. They do not have any sort of radar here, and each team has 1 enhanced optics, which is good, but they are medium range teams, and the WR is going to rely on that Raven for a good balance of everything. It's great, not great at any one thing, but it has good armor, it has good speed, it has good firepower, and it has excellent radar. So this might come down to where they engage and what they find. WR has a bit more flexibility with the radar, and each team has one jump jetter. Jamet can jump jet, and the Osiris can jump jet. But the Osiris has the advantage if they get into a jump jetting war due to its 700 meter range on its PPC. The LBX works better close. So with an AC-10 cannon and an LBX cannon, you can see that they've gone to this base. An excellent decision for their list and a good way to approach. Let's go back to the outer camera and take a look here. The WR team is still looking around. They've decided to set up in a spot and wait there. This is a 15-minute time limit. You see the Falcons maybe seeing the WR team set up there in the rocks. The main thing is the Chimera and the Ares are going to need to have support in this. Both of these teams are in a dangerous spot with their lists if one of the things gets focused. All right, it looks like we're getting ready now. The two teams getting in to fight. Who gets the first shot off? WR opens up. Direwolf opens up. Liko says, let's go get him. Deimos working here to control his asset. And there goes Serial Mascot. The LBXs working the close range advantage for the Falcons. Direwolf, an excellent pilot, adds a little bit of extra experience in that particular asset. WR needs to focus fire quickly, or they could very well be in trouble, as you can see. And we're going to go to a map 3. WR had the early warning that the Falcons were going in, but their positioning backfired on them, as the Falcons were able to get in extremely close without taking a lot of damage. And Bob's going to do what he can here. I think that WR did a lot of damage here, but the position they were in just did not work well against those close-range assets. And there it goes. And again, when you have two extremely light things in a Seabill bracket like this, you end up in a situation. Where it's important that the light things be able to support. The Uller practically untouched. The other Uller, the actual Uller in the field, one shot from being damaged. And the Chimera. So a very close match again, but ultimately the positioning calls the day. So WR winning. We are tied 1-1. CJF picks primary weapon. It is an artillery piece. And the main thing with this is that look at what they're facing. Absolute maximum armor. They took the heaviest armored thing in the game. They took one of the next heaviest armored things in game, and then in that third slot they went another extremely heavy thing here. So here's the interesting aspect about this damn thing is tanks get you more firepower and more armor at the expense of maneuverability and being able to spread your damage, but they went for it. That thumper is going to have to land shot after shot after shot at range in order for WR to be able to pick through the armor on this. The Atlas and the Marauder are going to be able to do extreme damage. Not so much as a clan asset, but that's 3 heavy hitting PPCs there. They have that's actually a heavy Gauss cannon. So they have dual heavy Gauss. So the weapons they picked are perfect for taking on tanks. But WR has extremely long reload times. That's the primary problem here, is that it is going to take a while for them to do their damage, and it's going to take a while for any weapons to do. But if this is a close fight, WR might just maybe have the advantage if they can get those heavy Gauss cannons to work fast and often, and get that thumper to get hits. So this is going to just come down to, I think, first engagement. The thumper is all about the element of surprise, and preferably having a range advantage against the Falcons. And I think when the Falcons' weapons range can go out to a good 600 meters. So this will be interesting. Here we go. Does Bob see them? Falcons are going to see Bob. Does Bob get shots off? The Falcons have discovered WR's location. WR does not want to fight here. If WR has to fight here, this is not going to go well. And Deimos and Serial Mascot can get out of there. The one thing that Bob has going for him, he is significantly faster than anything else on the field. But remember, he has to be parked for his weapons to work. And as we watch WR trying to get the hell out of here, the one thing working for WR is that Direwolf's tank literally is the slowest thing in the game. So the Atlas can actually outrun something for once. And I'm a bit surprised. It seems like the Falcons actually have not found WR yet. And so WR has the chance to reposition. Now that WR has definitely seen them, I think that this is a situation that once Bob reveals himself, that's going to be the match. So the Falcons acting like they've picked something up. They're staying in formation, but they are actively looking around. And as we zoom out here, Bob wants to operate from the opposite end of the map, and the two teams are about 600 meters apart. WR absolutely knows where they are, and they're just trying to figure out, Bob, where the hell do you want to park this tank? Because we want to get off optimally. We want to get off 2, 3, 4 good shots from a very long distance, and then run away and do it again and do it one more time. And then as near time expires, we close in on them at point blank range and fire with everything we have. Now, what happens if this match goes 15 full minutes? Well, we play another match. It's that simple. I do not want to get into carrying rules, but with something like a thumper in the field, WR has gone very interesting with their list. They have the firepower to compete. They have the armor on 2 of their assets to compete, but that Mars and that other tank are absolutely an armor advantage, and the Falcons can take punishment all day long. So we see WR moving. Let's go back and figure out where the Falcons are. I'm not sure on the radar packages here. The one thing is the Atlas does have Angel ECM, so if they decide to turn it on, Bob is hidden. And Bob has BHP, so Bob will be hidden, and Bob has the radar advantage. So I'll bet they're pinging their radar every now and again so that they can outmaneuver the Falcons. The Falcons are extremely slow, but they probably have Gekum on something here, so they have some short-range stuff. The Falcons want a close-range, 2 feet away fight, 2 meters away fight, while the Wolverines want as long of a range engagement as possible. The thing is, though, time's starting to run down decent. We're good probably 5-6 minutes into this match. With a 15-minute time limit, after a while, you have to start thinking, well, are we going to play a map 4? And it gets interesting on a map 4. Let's worry about that later. But the banning process is not something that works the same on a map 4. So the two teams starting to work towards center, I think. WR not wanting to give up its advantage with the artillery piece and with the radar, but the Falcons certainly are going to be sitting here starting to think, well, we're probably at a spot where we are going to want to start thinking about forcing an engagement. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons, after a while, just decide, let's throw our radar on and see where they're at. WR in a good position here. If the Falcons came out in the open, this is a good position for WR to attack from. WR just wants a hill to retreat on, and they want wide open lanes against the Falcons. This C-bill limit bracket does have some limitations, but as you can see, you're starting to get into some pretty heavy stuff. And there goes Bob. There goes the hits. And Bob gets the shots. We are engaged in the battle. And Lico's saying, let's charge them or let's get the hell out of here. The thing is, they have a very slow asset. And Bob looks like he's doing exactly what WR needs, landing all of his shots. Now Bob deciding to get out of there, and Lico saying, we need to close the distance. Everybody get over here and let's not run straight into them. But let's see what we're able to do here. So there's been damage done. The Falcons did a nice job of trading the best that they could, but Bob, from my estimation, got about 4 to 5 excellent hits off, and that thumper does a lot of damage. And while they have the armor advantage here, that thumper does a lot of damage pretty quickly. It's not quite a long tom, but you get enough shots off, it can start being a versatile piece, and it's got to be starting to enter Lico's mind a minute. That, wait a minute, time's running out here. We're certainly not going to try to play for they want a result. Win or lose, the Falcons definitely want a result. But they have to start thinking, should we rush into them if we know exactly where they're at, or is this a situation where we're absolutely going to have perfect positioning? And so time's starting to become a factor here in a 15-minute match, and that's We can go back in the live stream and find out when we started. I want to say we started around 41 time frame, and if it was 41, then they have until 26 to finish this off. So still plenty of time, even if I'm off on my time a little bit. And Bob and WR looking here in the other camera, trying to find a different position to go. I think they know where they want to go. The Falcons are trying to find a way to approach WR. They're trying to locate WR, and they're trying to make the calculation. A trip to the championship is on the line. If we end up in a map 4, it's a bit of an unknown how that's going to work. And we know that if we can close the distance, we can take them. But we took pretty significant armor damage early on, so our armor advantage might not be the best as it was before. And we might not even be entirely sure exactly what they have on all 3 of their assets. While we saw an Atlas, while we saw a Marauder, and we saw some of the weapons they were firing, we might not have necessarily identified everything they are. And that Thumper, while it has to be parked, can undeploy within a couple of seconds. So at a certain point, do we bleed enough of the clock down that we still make our charge, we still go in to win this, but we have the option of having time maybe run out and worrying about carrying assets or other things. Let's hope that this doesn't come down to carrying assets, because that is well planned out and a well thought out rule, but by far one of the most controversial ways that you can end a match with so much on the line here in the 2020 3v3 tournament. And they found their way up there. I said that this is a place teams like to go, and Bob found a tank, and now Bob has control over the vast majority of the map. Bob can just absolutely sit here, and it is going to be extremely hard. It's basically acting as a defensive turret in a hill. So WR is ready for the final engagement, and the Falcons are just trying to figure out, okay, we're going to be aggressive here, but we're not going to blindly just run into them. We're going to set up a kill box, and as time runs out, we might turn our radars on and try to find them. But they've taken enough damage that at a certain point they might just go, okay, there's not enough time, we can't find them, let's try our chances on another map. So you can see that perhaps it's possible that if the 2 team leads agree, if something gets stuck or somebody disconnects, that we can have a hold and stop the timer for a little bit, and that's entirely possible that they might be doing that. Except that it seems that they haven't. So the Falcons just trying to get that thing unstuck and in a good position, and WR realizing the clock is running rather low now. And so deciding Bob is well protected. We still have pretty fresh armor. We took damage, but not as much as the Falcons. We're going to utilize our Angel ECM and long-range firepower to send something out. Try to find out where they are, and maybe Bob can get a kill before the clock runs out. And also to let the Falcons maybe see that here we are, willing to engage you. You can see that the clock, if there haven't been any holds, clock may be down to 2 minutes. So we could have an engagement here, and we do. Serial Mascot taking the full brunt of the enemy firepower. He is able to get away. Bob not able to return fire just quite yet. And there he goes. Bob gets some fire. Now this is all about killing Serial Mascot and Deimos. Bob getting as many hits as he can, but Serial Mascot taking the full brunt of the Falcon Force's attack. There goes Serial Mascot. Now WR is in the open, and Deimos has to get out of there basically, and Bob has to pull one out and kill at least one thing here. They're not going to be able to attack Bob very well, so they're just going to cut and run if they're able, but time running low here. 1 minute left. Deimos has to make something happen. They have to get a kill. This is all about WR getting a kill here. If they don't, and we use the carrying rules, well, CJF will see you in the finals. Deimos trying not to go out in the open, but realizing I need a kill, but I can't die myself. Bob continuing to work away on them. Liko saying, screw it, let's get up here and start attacking Bob. Bob trying to get a kill. Bob trying to get a kill, but while extremely defensed up there, he has to not die himself, and so this might come down. We might be down in the last 20 seconds. Deimos doesn't have the speed to catch up, and only has the weapons range now to fire on Direwolf. Bob is going to have to figure something out, because I think we're out of time in 10 seconds here, and if everything's gone by the book, then we're going to let this one play out. But if this has gone by the book, the Falcons may have just punched themselves a ticket to the championship. Yes, time has expired, I do believe. So we're going to let this one play out. But this is going to be controversial no matter which way we look at it. But if we're following it by the book and we didn't have any holds, if we had a hold, that's something else. But right now, let's concentrate on the action. Deimos has to kill something. Bob has to kill something. But Bob has to spread the damage. That's the problem. They have one of their tanks, one of their tanks very heavily beat up. See, Direwolf's taking a lot of damage, the heaviest thing out there. But the Falcon's deciding, okay, we need to go back here and destroy something. And we have to stop letting Bob do everything. So I think that if they still think time is going on here, that Direwolf is going to slowly, carefully come in and try and kill Deimos, and if he dies himself, they probably still think they're tied. So I think both teams eventually are going to realize that time probably has expired, and we'll officially update to you once we have that information. But right now, this is all about Deimos trying to kill Direwolf, and the other stuff moving in. I'm going to let these two teams play this out, and we'll figure out where time expired. But as of right now, I do think that if everything holds, that the Falcons may have punched their ticket. I think one of the arguments that WR is going to have about this is that they are going to, if WR is able to kill everything, then I think that WR, it'll be in some interesting arguments. Let's worry about that later. You can see Deimos just sitting here trying to attack things. Bob trying to get a kill at the 24 time marker. It'll be interesting. Like I said, there is a strict 15-minute time limit, and when we started, if there is no hold, this will get interesting. Let's play it out though, and see what happens, because WR might have a chance to kill everything, and we'll talk to the captains. But this will definitely be interesting, because we have absolutely gotten past our time limit, and even if there was a hold in there, we have three different perspectives recording this, and it's going to be the decision of the tournament, working out the time limit here. The two teams need to remain aggressive, but they also need to remember, unlike in CM and a lot of other events, that the 3v3 has a 15-minute time limit. Concentrating on this, Jamek has to find Deimos and kill him before he goes to engage Bob. And while he has a lot of armor and he has decent range, he has to scare Bob off that hill or get to cover. And right now, Deimos, off camera, is just trying to get away and let Bob do the work here. Bob, depending on how damaged he is, might just simply come in here as Deimos sneaks in a shot coming in from the back. This is going to be extremely interesting. When did time run out? How many things were alive? And, well, the two teams sitting here, this has been a match for the ages. Remember, Bob can fire from close range, so Bob decided to get in here. Jamet trying to make something happen. But being fired on two things at once, it'll be interesting. Let's go check on how much damage WR has, how damaged their assets are. And again, the match results are uncertified. If it's due to if time ran out when I think it did, CJF might have a victory via carrying assets. If it goes on deaths, though, WR will have it. So here we go. The Atlas extremely damaged. Could have been almost killed. Almost did a good job keeping it alive. And Bob was also almost one kill from being alive. Again, there is a 15-minute time limit in matches.
WR has taken the Warhammer Prime, I believe, and that's a Gauss Shadowcat. Yes. So they've got a Gauss Shadowcat Warhammer Prime versus the HVAC 10 Bushwhacker and ERATM Ryo. ERATM Ryo is going to have damage, but if they close on that, it's not going to have any damage. I'm really concerned about the Gauss Shadowcat pick for the WR team. While it's great in pubs and it's great in a lot of other maps that have a lot more terrain to run around with the mask, it's got really low DPS for its weight class, and the Bushwhacker may really outperform it here. That being said, that Bushwhacker's also got really low DPS because it's HVAC 10, which is good screen shake, not a great amount of damage for its weight. And it is, if I'm correct in my memory, the heaviest weapon that you can mount in this game.
They choose the right camo.
I think the Falcons have an advantage here, just with their clan affiliation. Their big thing is being green. And that neon green is going to blend in a little bit more, but all of these brightly colored laser armaments are going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I think it's not going to be a camo issue. They should be getting line of sight very soon here. And when they do, Direwolf's going to have the advantage of probably for 200 meters of having the hack and the LRM 40. That's real damage. LRM 40, clan LRM 40 to the face is not something that's fun. But if he gets within the 900 meters without making visual, it does not look like either team's made visual yet, because the WR are going down to the pond, which is a move that you can make if you want to force range. And it looks like the Falcons have pushed in past the mid toward where the WR come from and are looking towards the pond, but there's a bluff in between the two. They could very well accidentally drop into each other, and that entire range advantage for Direwolf will be missed. That won't throw him out of the game, because that mech has a lot of close range weaponry. LRM-20s, or the clan LRM-20s, are great in close range, and Hag is great at any range also. But he's not going to have the chance to play the mean bully at 1200 meters and get free damage. Falcons have to have eyes on them now. Yeah, Falcons have eyes. And WR is missing it. Oh, they're taking fire. They know what's up. Oh. LRM 40, right on the, that Daishi. LRM 40, HVAC 10. Is he not in range? He's not. The Warhammer's out of range. That's a 64 kph asset that has to run 64 kph minus through the water. He's not going to get in range to help at all. Demos is stuck in that open, taking tons of shots for free. That Shadowcat is missing in action completely. Oh, I got one Alpha Strike off. It's doing nothing else. Bob in the Warhammer, he needs to be getting up there and taking shots. He's got a standard engine. The damage needs to land on him, but nothing's happening. The entire team is blasting Alpha Strikes onto poor WR Daishi. Did it just go down? It just went down. The Gosh, Shadowcat had landed a couple shots on Direwolf, but a couple golf shells and some air medium lasers does not do enough to offset losing your Daichi. Right now, they would have a chance if Bob and Serial Mascot and the Shadowcat was able to group up and leverage their close range capabilities with that Warhammer. That Warhammer is deceivingly durable. And if they made it the main tank and somehow pulled off some really fancy footwork, they may be able to drop the Daishi if they were careful about it by min-ranging the Ryokan. But be a really small window because that Ryokan's 97 kph doesn't stay min-range for long. And I don't think Direwolf is going to be foolish enough to let them get that opportunity and just stand around while they remaneuver around him. Bob is stuck in mid. There's not a lot he can do here. He's peeking out and he'll take a very large alpha strike to the face with that Direwolf. Yeah, Direwolf is kind of alone-ish here. If he gets separated from the pack while they're chasing off Mascot, Mascot's got, in that Shadowcat, he's got Mask and a pond to work around. But he also doesn't have any terrain to leverage for the ERATMs to be blocked. Bob peeking out, trying to get some shots on. Yeah, Lico's putting shots. That is an LBX. Interesting. Not the Warhammer Prime. Does not have the insane durability. And we're going to see that right now, how undurable it is facing a Direwolf. Or what is it? Daishi. It's just going to evaporate. Already has no back torso. Direwolf doesn't even need the torso twist. He just needs to blast it, and it's done. Warhammer is down, and now all it is Serial. He's come around. He does have a good position on that Daishi. Except other teammates are coming in to help. 86 kph and that Ryokan at 97 kph will not. Yeah. Very interesting play. They really caught WR with their pants down on that one.
Rio's pretty much untouched. Daishi's 48%.
Yeah.
Bushwhackers 70%.
They missed that opportunity when they had the Shadowcat run up into the mountains and leave the Daishi all alone in the water. They should have kept on the back of their mind the speed at which the enemy Daishi would be going, or enemy assault mech. It's going to be 54 kph or lower, and use that to try and kind of gauge where the enemies could be at that moment. Because it could have been that the Falcons would be aligned to the south also, and if they did that, they would have just been with their pants down even sooner. They did not have enough time to set up the long-ranged engagement that they wanted. And even if they did, would they win that trading against Hag? Who knows?
Right, that time it's. I believe it's the Rack Behemoth, which is underbuying a little bit.
So on the stream, I'm going to try and cover overhead and SJ side. On the recording, I'm doing the BAA side. Is there a favorite in this match based on their lists?
I'm sure.
It's hard to say. It depends a lot on how they engage each other, what the terrain ends up being like.
Rio Charlie as their third asset.
Last time we had a midnight match.
You sound a little hoarse, Duelist. You all good?
Just late at night. I'm all right. So, announcing team, where would be good positions for each team to set up at?
I would think that for the... I think both teams want to just kind of set up on the ridges. think both kind of have like firing line lists where they just want to do as much damage as possible, though SJ's has a bit more range, as far as I can tell. That rack Warhammer will suffer very much, though. It has basically limited 600 meters.
So what's 4130 minus 15?
Be 16, I believe. Or minus 26, yeah.
You think
Yeah,
we'll
26.
Do you think we'll see a lot of changing of positions in this match, or do you think one of the other teams might just sit in a spot?
I don't think that's really
Team
viable.
BA Guardians has seen SJ.
Ooh.
They're pulling back. Their forward, Ryo, just saw Team SJ.
Yeah, I think they realize that if you do actually get up on the ridge first and you're just sitting there with like, it's probably indicative of you guys having like a long range firing line, which I think might have been the wrong reaction from Republican guards.
Yeah, I
Because
think
they
the
basically only
Republican
have guards for long range for like 900 meters, 1000.
I mean, to be fair, they
Right.
don't know what the
Yeah,
SJ
no, they
team
don't.
has.
They don't, but could still work out to their advantage if they're getting for like really close range.
Will the minimum range come into play for the MRMs and Clan LRMs on the SJ side?
Well, I do know that the Republican guards also have an MRM asset in the Rack Behemoth, the 4 Rack 2 Behemoth.
And the Warhammer.
Yeah, the Warhammer on the SJ side, it can probably create space a lot better than the others. I'm more worried about it just dying fast. Probably the squishiest, or not the squishiest, but it's like the least survivable asset on the field. The Rio can like be mobile enough to make sure it doesn't get hit.
And I mean, the Rio isn't going to get focused as hard as a Warhammer would. I would think.
Well, we took a 12-hour lunch break. How will playing this late at night affect some of the players that might not be used to being up at this late?
I think that mostly affects the Tuna on the Republican team.
Looks like SJ is making a move across the open area.
Yeah,
Probably
they've taken
figured.
the middle ground here. That's an interesting move. Do we think they've seen the other team here?
Doubtful, but they're about
This
to.
could be
They could suffer.
decisive.
The Rio can see.
Right.
Oh, they
here.
think they've made contact.
Well, they've seen him now.
The Rio.
That's a bad trade for the Ryo.
Does BAA retreat, or do they? Nope, they're going forward.
They're going to engage.
Yeah, they're just gonna push.
What do you
They
focus
have enough armor,
on?
I think. Ooh,
Or not.
This is not ideal. You just have to make sure they do as much damage as possible.
They're trying to
Focusing down the Atlas.
maximize
Oh, it's a
their
Thunderbolt.
tanks.
Thunderbolt Atlas. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That Mars is sightline right now from its two friends.
Yeah, the Jaguars are not sharing armor super effectively here.
Yeah, they're just staying up.
Joey's kind of getting focused really hard, but you know, maybe they want that. He might be their most survivable asset. Although, I would try to run the Atlas in front out of all three of these.
Yeah, they've been hitting it pretty hard. I can see this was being focused at the moment.
The fronts on both the behemoths can't be looking good right now. And this is a mistake right here. You can see that the Mars is separated from the other two SJ assets.
Could be a bait or a ploy.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, I would need to see the paper dolls to say whether or not that's a mistake.
Couldn't tell if those HBBCs hit. So
The Republic Guards are much more closely.
Is this a strategic retreat for SJ?
Looks
think
like a
it's a-
strategic retreat for both teams.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What's the over/under on a team going to the tunnel now?
Not like I don't think it's likely.
You know, I've never actually been in the tunnel on this map, so I don't really know how to say one way or the other.
It has
That-
holes.
Back when MRMs
We would
had
lose
wire
assets.
guidance, we had a 25-minute standoff using all MRM assets in a Chaos March battle. Thus why anybody that was there, this map is not Alshain, it's tunnel.
Oh,
And yes, both teams had an APC, so
oh wow.
where should SJ move and where should BAA Guardians move right now?
I think it depends on how much armor they have, and it's really hard to judge.
Can anyone see the inner score, or can you only see clan score as observer?
Only clan, sadly.
Only clan.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to judge then. It looks like they're just trying to avoid getting pushed at close range.
They're covering
That
each other.
that heavy PPC behemoth is, a high alpha strike variant, and if they get caught out against, rotary autocannon 5 and pulse lasers and the like, that's not going to be good for him.
Just did some napkin math, and this is scary. The end time, if I did it right, appears to be 26:30.
Yes, there's still about 8 minutes left. I'll be giving a warning at 5 minutes remaining.
Looks like we're about to see another engagement with maybe unclear.
100-ton tanks are going around this horrible, horrible path where Direwolf's Mars got stuck earlier today.
That's a good point. These tanks are extremely slow at only 38 2 kph. That affects their thinking for travel.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like they're bypassing it. They probably took one look at that
Yeah, it's a hologram.
and said, "Screw that, we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get
taking
stuck."
hologram. It'd be a traffic jam, so
Yeah,
this way also works.
this
But
is
I think this is the wrong option. It's going to have a pretty long sight line.
yeah, this is one of the challenges involved with taking tanks. You do get a lot of bang for your buck, but well, they
Very
can
little strategic mobility.
yeah, they can really limit the possible strategies.
Nothing will ever be slower than a Hewitt. There's just no possible way. Duelist circa 2012. Here we are. But those 100-ton tanks give you a lot of things, even with their weakness at the slow speed.
Yes, it's a
Personally-
brave new world of tanks in Mechwarrior Living Legends in 2020.
Contact comes. It really depends on how well the tanks can close distance.
I don't think Joey was able to return fire on that. That was free damage for BAA.
Against him, rather, yeah.
Yeah, that was just some paint scratching.
Question is how much damage about VA
But we're getting
earlier.
some more fire.
Oops. Not seeing any smoke quite yet.
Oh my god, those deals missed.
I just noticed they have a kind of cheeky thing going on with their names here. The white tank is Black Unicorn and the black tank is White Unicorn.
So it's just
Oh,
taking less
no.
damage.
The White
Rest of the team is
Unicorn
completely
is
line-of-sighted.
one of these
He's
tanks
stuck?
is bumping up on the terrain here. I think he's having a problem.
Yeah, but Joey's completely line of sight from the rest
There
of the
he
team.
goes.
Or not quite, but was taking a lot for damage.
The two tanks versus the two mechs is kind of they have different dynamics for the kind of sight lines they can fight from.
Interesting that the Republican Guard isn't moving.
Yeah,
I wish I got this first, but
I'm not sure why they're holding position. I think they just want to maintain as much distance as possible, and they're very afraid of getting caught.
I think Joey's stuck.
With the championship
Yeah, it looks
on the
like he's
line.
bouncing
Oh.
up and down.
With the championship
Yeah,
on
it
the
looks like he
line,
needs a push.
they-
Is he
they-
up?
they-
There he goes.
Oh, okay, this is gonna get us back even for it.
Sorry, Duelist.
Dixon's already backed.
SJ is not going to have the
Ooh.
opportunity to call hold, so that'll be interesting.
Mid combat.
No, they didn't. We're nearing 5 minutes left, and BAA with the advantage here so far.
I think they can probably just push at this point. The reason I'm thinking that maybe they just have like no armor on their HPVC behemoth.
Did the Atlas go down?
They got focused early.
There goes the
Just-
Warhammer.
Yeah, I guess push it out.
You gotta wonder how much is left on those behemoths. Not much, apparently.
If you're Joey's teammates,
Oh
this
my
is when you're all like, clutch
This is
or
terrifying.
kick, clutch or kick.
It's actually terrifying if they have not much damage left.
This could be very close.
Yeah,
Not much armor
it
left,
really
really.
could be. I'm not sure how much armor Joey has left here.
Looks like the Ryos got separated.
Yeah, he was striking contact. He definitely he ate some really bad trades early.
Ooh,
The re-engage is the perfect time. Let's just see how much armor they have left.
Joey's at the perfect range for all his weapons.
Long cycle time on those HPP. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, but the firepower is just too much.
I don't think it's able to hit.
I'm gonna jump in and check the doll on that behemoth.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious. Oh, Shark got stuck on a mech trap, I think.
The Ryo is 0 CT,
Good
and the
lord.
behemoth
Oh.
is 0 front.
What are its
79
internals at?
79.
We're live.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
cheap as hell.
it's
Yeah, that's what I thought.
very cheap. It's also
113.
a lot of ammo on that. Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
If this
What I
works,
see here is,
it's gonna be legendary. Tell us, Liko, what do you see here?
yeah. So what I see here is the Jaguars. They just got rolled over by more 100-ton tank, so they're maximizing the 100-ton tank this time. However, I'm not sure that's gonna work for them. I mean, this long tom thing that the other team is doing is utterly whack. So, oh
But
man.
if it works, if they actually get
If
impacts
it
on their tank
works.
formation, if they just get like 1 or 2 shells in the middle, if they're gonna be so slow they can't fucking respond. It's like the
I wonder if that's the short
God.
range long tom. I hope it is.
probably. The
Most
Mark II they
likely.
have has C3, so that's what they're using right now for targeting.
Have you ever seen a long tom in a 3v3 tournament?
Not like this.
I mean, it's BAA. What did we expect?
If you're SJ, you see that long tom, what's your immediate command to your
You
teammates?
run it down.
They're gonna try and find it. But I mean, it's just a time bomb. It's like how much damage can the LT put
Well,
out?
if it were me, my first reaction would be laughter.
Yes.
And when I collect myself, I would attempt to put a piece of terrain in between myself and the position of the long tom so that it can't shell me, and calmly 3v2 the other team.
And then take out their long tom.
Oh man, actually, this is bad because BAA, their C3 asset is
On the wrong side.
yeah. So if SJ
But
gets
it
close,
looks like
I'm seeing-
their LT just repositioned to get shots.
How stealthy are the SJ tanks?
The demo has GCM, so he'll be active and he'll probably be detectable at 700 meters because I think the long tom has BHP.
That's probable.
How many shots before SJ returns fire do they need for them to win this with this LT?
Fire out.
Oh no, they just
Oh
gave
my
away the
god.
position.
Oh,
That's bad.
the
just
jig
gonna
is up
push straight out.
and he hit the bridge.
Bad
Yep,
vibe.
and their Mark II's in the wrong place. One of their Mark II's in the wrong place. They have
And
to do it now.
Yep, their
SJ
C3 unit is
immediately
separated.
spreads out.
Oh no,
What's the radius of an LT shot?
30 meters.
He's gonna need to go mortar fire.
Oh, interesting.
The Jaguars
making
really
a
need
change
to
direction.
press hard right now, directly towards that long tom.
God damn it.
And I'm not seeing it. They're
wanna
milling
see-
about, probably trying to decide which way to go. They've got enemies on both sides. They're not sure where the other two are going to be, but one side's got one Mark II, and the other side's got the Mark II and the long tom.
Oh, it's
Miss.
Could SJ split
So
the
unfortunate.
forces? Go one side with some?
They could,
No.
but it
No.
would be unwise in my
That'd be a
opinion.
terrible idea. Yeah. They can just push right at this and they'll be fine. God,
Wow.
this
No.
bridge is screwing them over so bad. They might be able to actually do this if they can just sit here and force the tanks to move under the bridge because they don't really have a choice.
Yeah, if I were them, I would actually wait for the long tom to reload
Yeah.
and then push through the bridge. Although the long tom is repositioning, so that was another opportunity for them.
He needed to wait on that shot.
Oh,
That
they're,
could've
I
got
think they're
close.
going now. They were
Yeah,
waiting
just
for
took
that
too long.
shot, and now they're going. They're gonna get hit
Okay.
though. Ooh.
Solid hit.
That was not good.
Their Yak 40 Mark II is the
Those
one that really
100
needs to
tonners are
survive.
chunky though. They just need to
Yeah.
all go together.
Oh, and they're splitting up. And they're
Gonna
not
be
focusing
another
the Yak
shot
40
from
Mark II.
the.
Yeah,
the
they should just
LT.
take out the long tom before it can.
Oh, Architect's
whack
division's
one of
out, I
them.
think. I'm not sure. He's on fire, so I assume that's what's happening.
No, his laser AMS
sure.
is out.
No
Oh,
more.
they actually
wow.
have one.
Architect's down.
That shell took him out.
Joey's not facing the Yak 40
Joey's
Mark II.
not looking.
Holy shit.
This could be a throw. Right here. depending on how this goes for this Mark II.
Okay, so he suddenly changed direction, but they've man.
Joey's holding position and
But
Kidson
the
is
LT's
off on a
still
solo
alive.
adventure.
Yep. If the LT could get a shot here.
Oh no, it's too close. More free damage on the Mars than the Mark II. It's down.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
It's just up to Kidson.
Oh, I think
I think the Mark IIs are going to carry it.
it's not clear how much damage the Mark IIs took though.
Yep. Oh, was that a direct hit?
Not quite,
call.
but it looked ugly.
The LT is going to go down.
Oh my god. The LT didn't
Wow.
even die.
Well then.
Good god.
Mark II Strunk? Question mark?
Mobile Long Tom,
23
23
internals.
internals. MK2, 27 side, 54 center. Other MK2, 10%, 0% sides, and 32% center. Well,
Good god. That would have worked. That would have failed against any other list.